Brainiac.
And that multiple people can be standing in the same room, seeing experience, but it's all seen, heard, smelled, felt differently because of the different places they're standing, from the different experiences they've had. Say, there's an explosion in front of 5 people, but one person has been severely traumatized by explosions. They're going to explain that situation 10 times differently based off their experiences alone. Not only maybe even being closer to the situation compared to the other 4 people, and how it's just based off of concepts that we build within our head from experiences.
So, do you believe that science is all conceptual? As far as not the terminology or the ideologies and the theories, but just what is, right? Real and fake's different to each person.
Well, for example, when people say, and I think a lot of people would agree, people who are hallucinating, people would say that the things that they're seeing are not real. And for me, I have.
That's kind of. Yes.
For me, I have a challenging view. I would say that, not even depending on the situation, but all situations of what you would consider to be hallucinations is maybe.
Now you're talking about like they're seeing like a formation of like something that's not there. You're talking about just
anything, just seeing something out of what we would consider to be ordinary. Well, first of all, where does ordinary? Where's that line drawn? First of all, that's
if everything's different for everybody, if everyone has their own experiences and nothing's the same for everybody, then how do we have any common space to talk about things? How can we have similar experiences?
I think it's almost relative to the fact that every single day you wake up and look in the mirror, you don't look different to yourself. But then if you look at a picture of yourself 2 years ago, you look different. 4 years ago, you look different. I think it's the same concept of that. It's we're all going through what we consider to be relative situations. We go to work, we go home, but at the end of the day, it's very much unique in everybody's experience. Not only because they're all doing something different, but they're also having a different perspective.
So again, it's something that I said before in the past, and so if we're all unique, then if everyone's unique, then really everyone's kind of the same. Because if we're all different in our own ways, then we're all the same in that way, right? So how would you be different? How can you be unique?
I feel like what you're saying is almost like yin and yang. You're kind of you're finding that balance right there. It's if we're unique, if we're so unique, then we're not necessarily unique.
That's a similar trait everyone has. If everyone's different in their own way, then that's something that's similar.
But is that
it's like saying a superhero, right? Everyone has their own power. The power is different, but they're all a superhero.
But
right?
Is that like saying that
they're
all
unique?
Human?
They're all unique, but they're all
not
the same.
Human? Is that like saying we're all human, but we're not human because we're all human though?
And you're saying we're all different?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're saying so we're talking about real and fake, and everything is just based on perception. So then, being a human, is that perception? Is it perception that think everything is based on perception?
I think life's very symbiotic. So for example, the experience you're having and you as an individual are very much connected. No different than you and I are connected. Just because necessarily when you take into consideration Earth, right? Why do you think that the tree is connected to Earth? Because it's rooted, right? Well, do we think of ourselves not the same? Because we're not rooted and we're able to freely walk. And in that consideration, to take that thought into the fact that we're all symbiotic and all one, trees are all one because they're all connected to this big Earth, planet, rock. But is it because we roam freely? Yes. Is it because we roam freely? We have this ideology that we're not in a
or that we
subconscious.
Didn't come from the Earth. That we came from a person instead of the Earth.
Right. Some people think we came to this Earth. Some people think we came to this Earth, but we came from this Earth.
What was even saying
an apple comes from a tree.
What was saying
right?
in the essence that we're birth instead of a tree is grown from a seed inside of the Earth's dirt, which is a part of the Earth's mantle, crust
right.
and all that. Not mantle, but crust. Yeah. So in that sense, it's connected, and we're not, because we look at ourselves coming from a different entity. But at the end of the day, we're made up of all materials that are found within space and Earth. We're carbon beings mostly. We have water inside of us, and if you break us down, it's really just everything that you can find within the universe. So essentially, we are from the universe. you know, and so we are, like you said, we are all one in that way, and it's kind of interesting to think of things separately, but yet every single thing is all connected.
Yes.
Every single.
How do you deal with like people that are not treating one well, right? And how do you that don't feel very connected to somebody in that sense? Like, I know we are all from the same place, but like, if we're all connected, then why are we treating each other not good? You know,
Well,
and I think that's a big concept. Is like, you don't see nature really beating up nature. Everything makes sense on why it happens, or are we like taking the victim mentality and everything, like you said?
Yeah, I think that's a big thing.
Before, like we talked about.
So, do the fish philosophize on what's going to happen to them? Or do they just go with the flow? For example, so if they're about to be eaten, are they going to freak out right then and there? Or after that situation, are they going to freak out again because of that past situation? Or are they just going to go with the flow and they'll freak out when it happens? Are they going to for example, something happens to us, right? Because we're so conscientious, because we're so conscious, right? We're able to say, okay, if something relative feels like this again, I'm going to try to prevent that to happen.
Yeah.
Do you think the fish do that? Do you think the animals do that? Beta phase of the Brainwave Records Podcast. Zach, anything you want to say before?
Thank you, and welcome to Brainwave Records Podcast. Your host, Mastah Brainaic, your co-host, Zack Attack. It's ever growing, just like our minds. We'll see you next time.
It's Mastah Brainaic.
Are not necessarily like, you know, repeat what you just said one more time.
I can't repeat myself, bro. I'm on 2-3 in cuffs of this deep, bro. What you mean? ADHD in my phone, feels like your expertise on it. It's Mastah Brainaic.